This is rather swanky, isn't it? Now that my roundup services are no longer required, I'm needing to raise some cash. So I've decided to sell off the This Week stash.
This chaise lounge isn't one of those old dirty sofas on this week's programme. Those sofas you couldn't sell in a jumble sale.
That is no way to speak of Michael or Liz, let alone our amusing elderly presenter.
Get off. Here's your first item. It's a lame duck, just like your programme.
Jeremy Corbyn was feeling the heat at the beginning of the week. There were rumours of splits and even a leadership challenge if he didn't clarify his position on Brexit. Even his best buddy managed to turn up the heat.
We need to express a view now which is clearly, as I said, I will vote Remain, I want to campaign for Remain. And what Jeremy is rightfully doing, and this is one of the differences between us, I just say let's get on with it. Jeremy is much wiser actually. He says let's talk to people, bring them together, build consensus and then go for it.
You need to do it like this. This week's prosthetic hand, no expense spared, starting at 20 pence.
By Monday, the Labour leader must have felt the hand of history on his shoulder.
20 pence, anyone? 20 pence? Is there even a market for this sort of thing? 20 pence, anyone? Is anyone going to buy this stuff?
Is Labour now a party of Remain or Leave?
Labour is a party which says we will take no deal off the table and the people will have a choice in the future as to whether they remain in the European Union or they accept what would be very, very damaging no deal exit from the EU.
What about at the next election if there's no Brexit by then?
We have a democratic process. We'll decide our election position when the election comes.
A hard sell for some Labour MPs.
I'm a public servant first and foremost, and I will always listen to my constituents, and I will stand by them on this. The majority of my constituents, my local party members, local businesses and local trade union reps are telling me that they want me to continue to work towards getting a deal and to leave, and that is what I will continue to do.
And then came the BBC's Panorama, with claims that Labour officials, including the General Secretary, had interfered with investigations into cases of alleged anti-Semitism.
The people that she brought in when she became General Secretary overruled us and downgraded what should have been a suspension to just an investigation, or worse, to just a reminder of conduct, effectively a slap on the wrist.
Labour said the allegations were from disgruntled ex-staff with an axe to grind.
Let's see what the BBC says in response to the complaints that are put in, because what we've got is ex-staff making accusations against existing staff, and those existing staff have challenged those complaints, so it does need an objective look at.
This Week has always had a special relationship with the Donald, and now we're auctioning some priceless memorabilia from his recent trip.
Including Michael's favourite outfit. This is going to fetch a lot of money. That special relationship took a hit this week when some briefings from the UK's man in Washington, D.C. were leaked. They described the President's administration as inept, incompetent and insecure. Could have been talking about this week, really, couldn't they?
The ambassador has not served the UK well. I can tell you that. We're not big fans of that man, and he has not served the UK well. So I can understand it, and I can say things about him, but I won't bother.
And then, like the Portillo wardrobe, things just got more and more colourful. Simply put, the US would no longer do business with Ambassador Kim Darroch. The Tory leadership candidates were asked on ITV whether they would support the ambassador or bend to Trump. This is how we've been mastering our lines for 15 years.
The ambassador in Washington stays because it's our decision.
Whoever leaked that deserves to be eviscerated.
Boris, just answer the question for once. Go on, tell us if you'll keep the ambassador in Washington. Come on.
You wouldn't extend his term out of sympathy.
I will keep him until he's due to retire, okay. And I think we'd like to know if you would.
Well, I'm not going to be so presumptuous.
Nothing is selling.
Time to sell the hound. Get Molly? I thought we had her stuffed. I'll throw in the pooper scooper.
OK then, start me £20.
When the UK ambassador resigned, Boris's own former self-proclaimed pooper scooper turned on his old master with a vengeance.
Boris Johnson, a former Foreign Secretary, and he hopes to be the future Prime Minister, has basically thrown our top diplomat under the bus. And there are a lot of people here in the Commons who are very, very angry.
You can judge the Maybot's level of support for Boris for yourselves. Do you think we're going to get anything for this outfit?
Kim has given a lifetime of service to the United Kingdom, and we owe him an enormous debt of gratitude. Good government depends on public servants being able to give full and frank advice.
I think the comments made about him are beyond unfair and wrong. I think he's given honourable and good service, and he should be thanked for it.
What else do you have for us in there, Gyles?
Not a lot, to be honest. Couple of items from Boris's lot. Look, a nice head of hair there, and... oh, yes. Never mind. Back to the leaders' debates, where the candidates were asked whether they would actually shut down Parliament to get Brexit through.
When that's happened in the past, when Parliament's been shut down against its will, we've actually had a civil war. And I think it would be a rather curious thing to do if this is about taking back control for Parliament to actually shut it down. So my answer to that is no. How about you, Boris?
Well, I'm not going to take anything off the table any more than I'm going to take no deal
so no answer.
Off the table. And I think it's absolutely bizarre at this stage in the negotiations for the UK yet again to be weakening its own position.
From on high, one former PM threatened some judicial wisdom.
The Queen's decision cannot be challenged in law, but the Prime Minister's advice to the Queen can, I believe, be challenged in law, and I, for one, would be prepared to go and seek judicial review to prevent Parliament being bypassed.
Well, I can't flog it. At least I can wear it. Thank you very much. Goodbye this week. Tally-ho.